Today we are going to be ranking werewolves on a tier list. We might even get through all of them because there's like less than 100 of them. All right, we're going to start off with the treacherous werewolf. This is a black 2 generic 2/2 minion. What is it? It's a werewolf minion these days. That's what it's errated to. It's a 2/2 creature. Threshold. Treacherous werewolf gets +2/+2 and has when treacherous werewolf is put into a graveyard from play, you lose 4 life. Oh my god, this is like a lot worse than I thought it was gonna be. It gets +2/+2, so it gets bigger, but then if it dies, basically we die. Well, this is terrible. There's like no upside to this thing, almost whatsoever. All right, where are we gonna put this thing on the tier list? I'm putting it in the C. I think it's crap. I think it's absolute crap. It could be worse, but I can't guarantee that it's actually going to be worse. Kano with the greater werewolf. Hopefully it's greater than that last one. It's not going to be hard to beat it. Ugh. This is like from that movie called The Thing. We have a black 4 generic 2/4 where it's literally just called a werewolf. Prior, it's called the lycanthrope, whatever the hell that is. It's a 2/4 creature. At end of combat, put a -0/-2 counter on each creature blocking or blocked by the greater werewolf. We're moving up, but honestly, 5 mana for a 2/4 that doesn't even incentivize my opponents to block a whole lot. It's also pretty bad. The poor werewolf players, they've got nothing. They got like no playables. Now I understand why they were so happy when whenever any sort of werewolf set comes out. They never had anything to begin with. This is really slim pickings for them. All right, next up we got Alex Gibson. Thanks so much for your super chat. I love Ramp. Thus I love Weaver of Blossoms. Weaver of Blossoms is a green 2 generic 2/3 human werewolf. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Daybound. Ooh, what do we have on the backside? The backside is always the more interesting side. It's the Blossom-clad werewolf. For 3/4, it adds 2 mana of any one color. So what do we have here? It's a 3 mana rock. Those usually don't do very well. This is in creature form at least. So at least we have something to attack with. And otherwise, you know, it's like a double Birds of Paradise when you get the flip part of it. All right. It's bad, but it's not that bad. So we're going to put in B for just bad. The poor werewolf players. They got nothing to work with. Toads, Mayor of Avabruck. It's probably the best. Maybe one of the best werewolves in the world. Mayor of... How many mayors are there in this game? More than one. Okay, we got the Mayor of Avabruck. It is a 2 mana 1/1. Other human creatures you control get +1/+1. So Lord for the humans. Now at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, you can transform this one too into the Howlpack Alpha. Now this card is actually quite sweet. It's a 3/3 that buffs your other werewolves and wolves. And at the beginning of your end step, you get a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells, you get to transform it back. But the point is, you try to keep it here. It's a werewolf. It's a baby maker. I was gonna say it's a werewolf maker. It makes babies. Tons and tons of or I don't know. It calls all the wolves to the yard. All right, Mayor, where do we put you? I think we can put you pretty high. You even double as like a pretty good lord for humans. I think this is an S tier werewolf. One of the best. Okay, Elixir, what do you got for us? Only werewolf I ever used, the Suspicious Stowaway. How suspicious? This is a werewolf? Oh, it is a human rogue werewolf. 2 mana 1/1, can't be blocked whenever it deals combat damage to a player. Draw a card and then discard a card. The backside, however, is a 2/1 werewolf. Also can't be blocked. It deals combat damage just to draw a card. It's this card is not bad. It's quite decent. So on the backside, we basically have Psychic Frog to some extent. Because you deal damage, you draw a card, it's unblockable. I guess the closest, it's like Shadow Mage Infiltrator on the backside. Front side, crappy Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Randomly put, it's probably good in a rogue deck too. So it has some versatility. I think this is an A tier card. Very, very strong. I think it's very good. Maybe not the best, but it's pretty good. Is this a real card, Jasper's Rab? You're gonna waste your card today. I know it. What? Where? What? What? Given how few werewolves there are in existence, I'll probably accept this. It's a 4-mana 4/3, which is pretty pushed. Daybound. When Werewolf enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard or hand. If you do, that card becomes this creature's back face, and the back face has Nightbound. If you exile a card from your hand this way, draw a card. Oh! You may exile a creature card. So it's basically, it's a clone. That's all it is. It's literally a clone. Clone for things that are not on the battlefield. Like, where, what? Where do you go? I don't know where you go. Who, what, where, when, and why? B tier. It's not bad. The green clone. Strange, but possible. Next up, we got Lewis with Tovolar. Oops, too close. Back up. Tovolar, the Dire Overlord. This is a 3-mana 3/3 human werewolf. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves or werewolves, it becomes night. Then transform any number of human werewolves you control. So what do we got on the backside? Is it the same thing? Oh no, you got Kessig Wolfrun on the back end. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deal combat damage, you also still draw a card. But you can give +X/+0 and trample for a red, green, and X. This card is it's bussin'. It's absolutely bussin'. You know what? The vibes for this card are off the charts. It's vibing on the front side, and it's even vibing on the back side. It even offers its skibbity riz with this with this ability over here. Card is actually quite insane. S tier. A lot of value. Very strong finisher. It's actually great all around. What does it cost to get this thing out? Just 3 mana. I think this card is insane. This is like super high value. It's high value early in the game. High value early in the game, and then it just can finish off someone in one shot late in the game. Okay, I like it. Next, we got Lego Drakey with the Daybreak Ranger. This is a 3 mana for a 2/2. Tap, deals 2 damage to target creature with flying. That is highly specific and very unlikely to show up at all. Okay, at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform it into the Nightfall Predator. It's a 4/4 with pay red, tap, Nightfall Predator fights target creature. That is not so unlikely. That's incredibly likely. Nightfall Predator is looking for a fight. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform it. So the front side is what? Crap? 2 damage to target creature with flying. Was this hate against Delver of Secrets? Delver of Secrets came out at the same time, didn't it? Is it just creatures or werewolf cards? You know, give me a werewolf card, I will consider. If it has the word werewolf, it's like, it didn't specify it has to be a creature. If it has the word werewolf in the card, it's going to be legal. Okay, werewolf in the card. So front side, pretty mopey. Back side, a lot to be desired. You do have to splash red, which is not particularly difficult, but still not incredibly impressed. We're going to put that in the B tier. I might even demote the C tier. Those cards were so terrible. So terrible. Kagan, thanks so much for this super chat. The Halpak Piper. How many doggos out there? Make doggo decks. We have the 4-mana 2/2 human werewolf. Can't be countered. Pay 2, tap. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's just Elvish Piper, right? But if it's a wolf or a werewolf, untap Howlpack Piper. Activate only as a sorcery. What do we have on the back side? There's more? When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Wild Song Howler, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's actually pretty good. But I always find like these Piper cards to be like pretty janky. I'm not a huge fan of them. You know, instead of putting werewolves on the battlefield through a creature, why don't you just play the thing in the first place? You know what I mean? B tier. It's a very entertaining card. It had a lot of words on it. You may enter a creature card. Exactly. You may enter one. Okay, next up, we've got William, our Lord and Savior, the Hunt Master of the Fells. At the time. Man, now the mighty have fallen. Hunt Master used to be like an S tier card. A lot of formats. Saw play everywhere. Now I don't know if it sees play anywhere. It's a 4-mana 2/2. Enters the battlefield or transforms into Hunt Master of the Fells. Put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield and you gain 2 life. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform the Hunt Master. I want to say, this was like the Uro of the time. This was Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath of the era. So it transformed into a 4/4 Trampler and it dealt 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to target creature that player controls. Then, of course, whoever plays 2 spells means Ravager's going to reflip into the Hunt Master. That being said, I think it still ages pretty well. Like, it does give you a lot of value. It gives you a little... You can shoot some things down. It's not the... It's somewhere between S and A tier. I'm going to give it... I gotta give it the S tier, I guess. For a werewolf, for this werewolf tier list, I don't know if it's gonna get a whole lot better. That's the problem. I'd like to give it A tier, but like, do you know what? This is like the S tier of all the werewolves. Next up, we've got Wandering Pict with Conduit of Storms. Conduit of Storms, a 3-mana werewolf horror. It's a 2/3. Whenever it attacks, add red to your mana pool at the beginning of your next main phase. And then for 5 mana, you get to transform this thing. Haha. No passing the turn. We just get to pay mana and turns into an Eldrazi. Eldrazi. Okay, attacks, add double colorless to your mana pool. That's a lot more than before. 3 mana for a 2/3. Attack to add a red. When it attacks, add red. We add it to the next main phase this turn. Not impressed, to be honest. Not really all that impressed with this card. It's like a 3-mana mana rock that I still have to attack with in order to get the mana. Okay, I'm demoting. These were actually pretty terrible. I don't think we're gonna get that much worse than this. I'm gonna put this in the C tier. This is like a 3-mana mana rock that I still have to work to get that mana. And then I gotta spend 5 mana to get 2 mana? It's not even guaranteed around here. Okay, John. Duskwatch Recruiter. So let's take a look at that Duskwatch. And who's recruiting who? Oh, yes! The 2-mana 2/2. 3 mana. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability alone is broken. If you have infinite mana, you can just go through your entire deck and put every creature card into your hand. Just put your entire deck into your hand. So this plus infinite mana, I mean, it's good enough. You don't even need to see... Most people, they don't even want to see the second side of Duskwatch Recruiter. That's a bad thing. You want the front side. You want the human warrior side. But what happens when you transform it? Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. You know, that's really ironic because a lot of people play this card with infinite mana combos. So it doesn't matter if you have your creatures cost 1 less. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, you get to retransform it into the good side. Okay, this is S tier for sure. 100 bajillion % S tier. Next up, We have a lot of people for Brutal Cathar. You know, we have 5-tap HQC. We've got Turiat. We've got Beanpot. Probably a bunch of other people. Brutal Cathar. I hate this card. 3 mana for a 2/2. Enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar. Exile target creature an opponent controls.
No, God, please, no.
Until it leaves the battlefield. And frankly, it always takes my creatures. I hate it taking my creatures. Huge Pioneer staple right now. It's Oblivion Ring on a creature. What's the backside? First strike, ward, pay 3 life. And then if you retransform it, it like exiles another card. It's a lot of value. Now it is vulnerable. It is a big pile of meat, which you can shoot out of the sky. Or I should say shoot out of the ground. So I'm gonna give it A tier. It's a very strong card though. Very strong Oblivion Ring effect. We got Viridian with Arlen Cord. The Planeswalker, the 4 mana 3. Remember, if it says Werewolf on the card, or I guess even Wolf. I'll even take Wolf. What is the backside say Werewolf? Does it actually not say Werewolf anywhere here? That can't be. Does it literally just say Wolf? Okay, +1. Until end of turn, 1 target creature gets +2/+2, gains Vigilance and Haste. 0 to put a 2/2 in play, then you get to transform this thing. I'm in disbelief here. Then the +1 is creatures you control get +1/+1, gain trample. -1 deals 3 damage to target creature or player, transform Arlen. -6, you get an emblem. Creatures you control have haste and tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. It literally does not even say Werewolf anywhere. Yeah, the backside picture is clearly a werewolf. It doesn't actually say Werewolf anywhere. Okay, I'll put it somewhere. Yeah, well, she is a werewolf. I know we all know that. Okay, well, I'll counter. The card is fine. It's like it's decent utility. It's not the most mind-blowing thing. The front side is not that impressive. You're gonna play it to pay the 0. You get to the backside, and then make the use out of this. But it's like a pretty like mopey value, if you ask me. So this is like a B tier like card. You get a little bit of value out of her. That's good. Yes, yeah, it's basically like a werewolf fail. It's not the werewolf fail I was expecting though. We already got lesser werewolf. Uh-oh, am I stuck? Are we still alive? I can't tell if this are we still alive here? Something's lagging here for me. Okay, I think it's just lagging on my end. Let's take a look at Steve Cooper's Ava Bruck Caretaker. Okay, Averbrook Caretaker. This is a 6 mana 4/4 human werewolf with hexproof. Well, that's pretty nifty. Oh, is the stream over? It's like still running for me. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me do a good old refresh and see what happens here. I'll be back in a second if you don't see me. Are we back? Are we back? Are we better than ever? Do we feel better? Looks fine to you. Okay, it's well, it wasn't sort of running for me actually. It was there was technical difficulties on my side. Okay, Averbrook Caretaker, the 6 mana 4/4 human werewolf hexproof. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. It's actually quite strong. So that's some pretty guaranteed value every single turn. Then we get to transform into Naki Werewolf. 6/6 hexproof. Other permanents you control have hexproof, which is also absolutely insane. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control. On each creature you control? That's absolutely nuts. You can reload the stream on your end. I can reload my client, my online streaming client. It's possible that there was something gummed up that way. Okay, this card's actually pretty sick. The only downside is the 6 mana cost. So I'm gonna put an A tier. I could be wrong though. I mean, this could be. Nah, you know, I gotta put this S tier. It's hexproof. Gives everything else hexproof. That is absolute. That is bussin', no cap, low key amazing. Yeah, never were down. All right, next up, let's take a look at lesser werewolf. You did the other one, greater werewolf. How many people are out there for lesser werewolf? This was funny because there's so many. Sorry, it's not so many. There's so few werewolves that we're gonna get people yelling for all the same werewolves out there. 4 mana for a 2/4 human werewolf. Pay a black. If lesser werewolf's power is 1 or more, it gets -1/-0 until end of turn, and put a -0/-1 counter on target creature blocking or blocked by lesser werewolf. Activate this ability only during the declare blocker step. So the idea is, if its power is 1 or more, it gets -1. The idea is like we shrink other people's creatures with this card. It doesn't deal any damage to anyone blocking this damn thing. What the F is that art? That was the art back in the day. You'd have to ask Quentin Hoover, but Quentin Hoover isn't with us anymore. Rest in peace. Okay, this is quality D tier stuff. This quality. Oh, sorry, not quality C tier. Very quality C tier. Maybe quality D tier. Maybe it is quality D tier. Do you know what? It's lesser. It's lesser than the C tier. I believe it. Okay, next super chat we got from Kagan. Did we count the mild-mannered librarian? I have no idea. Apparently not. But it's just a human. Or not. Okay, it's a green 1/1, 4 mana. Mild-mannered librarian becomes a werewolf. Put 2+1/+1 counters on it, and you draw a card. Activate only once. So basically, 5 mana for a 3/3 to draw something. It's not the worst in the world. And you can also throw it into a human deck, which I don't know why you'd want to do, because there's actually a lot of humans that are much stronger than, much stronger for 1 mana. B tier. There's a little bit of a backup plan for that one. We got Binlin, Werewolf Lightning Mage. Oh, come on. Is this a Jasper Rab account? Pretty sure that's a. I just realized this is probably a Jasper Rab account. Jasper's Rab. We got Jeffrey, Morph on the Boundless. That doesn't count. Must say werewolf on card. Librarian stops being a human after you activate her ability. That's right. Yeah, now it becomes werewolf. Okay, Christopher B with a Gat Staff Predator. Gat Staff Predator. It was any card with werewolf in it. You know what? You're not wrong, but I don't know how to rate a sticker card. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. What was that card? Hold on. How do we get to this one? Gat Staff Predator. Gat Staff Predator. I don't think this is not the name. Or at least I can't find it under that name. I think it's been, or Gat Staff. There's Gat Staff Arsonist and Gat Staff Shepherd. Okay, I'll go with the, no, you probably wanted the Arsonist. Okay, I'll go with the Arsonist. 5 mana for a 5/4 human werewolf. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform. That's it! It's literally a 5 mana 5/4. It turns into a 6. It turns into a 6/5 with menace. That's about it. That's as vanilla as it comes. Okay, now that is quality D tier. Sorry, C tier. That's quality C tier. Basically a vanilla creature all around. Okay, werewolf lightning. Werewolf lightning. Yeah, this. Where's the werewolf? I don't even know. Is this the werewolf? Okay. D tier. If anyone sees, is anyone skipping through the show to see that there? I hope they're supremely confused. Like, what the hell's going over there? We have Werewolf Pack Leader. Oh yeah, this one's a green 3/3 human werewolf. Pack tactics. When Werewolf Pack Leader attacks, if you attack with creatures total power 6 or greater this combat, draw a card. And also for 4 mana, until end of turn, Werewolf Pack Leader has base power and toughness 5/3, gains trample, and is no longer a human. Which is really, I don't understand the point of that. Can't it be a human and a werewolf at the same time? But we're going to give it A tier. I think that is a very, very strong werewolf. It's a very, very strong ability. Next, thank you very much for the Super Chat Elixir. We've got Ill-Tempered Loner. We can just look up Loner. How many loners are in this game? There's actually quite a few loners. They should get together sometime. They won't be so lonely. 4 mana for a 3/3 human werewolf. Whenever Ill-Tempered Loner is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. Then also for 2 mana, Ill-Tempered Loner gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's got day bound. So if it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. So you snipe it, it snipes someone else. Also can buff itself up. And on the backside, if you whenever a permanent you control is dealt damage, Hell Pack Leader deals that much damage to any target. So don't deal damage to anything around here. And also for 2 mana, can deal damage to anything. Quality B tier. Quality. That is a quality B tier card. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's some insurance, if anything. Okay, Jason R., Victim of Night. Oh, the versatile removal spell. Black instant. Destroy target non-vampire, non-werewolf, non-zombie creature. Which honestly hits a huge range of the entire game. It's just going to suck when your vampire, werewolf, or zombie friend comes along and screws over your Victim of Night. I don't know what this is implying. Anyway, S tier. Actually, S tier removal spell. I don't know if it's... I think it's technically better than Doomblade. Doomblade is 2 mana, destroy target non-black creature. I think there are more black creatures in the game than there are vampires, werewolves, or zombies. So you have a really good shot at it. Let's have a show where we rate which alchemy cards would work in paper. That's a great idea, actually, Bryce. Yeah, I like that idea. Someone remind me in the Discord about that one. Or leave me a note. Okay, we're gonna look at more. We're gonna look at way more werewolf cards, but we gotta thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. We're back. Do I have a good shot of Fusion Gaming? Look, that you can get your weekly deals. You can pre-order sealed product, and of course, you can buy singles, which they will ship internationally. And if you want to support the channel, oops, I'm looking in the wrong direction here. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. Also saves yourself 5%. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards for Magic Online. It's cheaper because you can rent every single deck in existence for 1 monthly subscription price, and you can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. Back to rating werewolves. The werewolves, they're amazing. Going through these cards, like, what do we got at the halfway point? The S tier, honestly, is not very strong. I mean, we have a damn Doomblade in S tier. On any other tier list, this would be in, like, the B tier. It's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Okay, next up we got Bean Pot with Graveyard Trespasser. By the way, anyone no card yet? I'm sure there's quite a few people no card yet. The Graveyard... This is not it. Graveyard Tress... Oops. There we go. 3 mana for a 3/3 human werewolf. Ward, discard a card. Enters the battlefield or attacks. Exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. So you got a little bit of drain and gain. Also some graveyard hate, possibly in the main deck with the Graveyard Trespasser. And the backside isn't even any... the backside is just as bad as the front side. So now, if you want to kill it, you got to discard a card because it's got Ward. And when it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 2 target cards from a graveyard. For each creature card exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So, I mean, if you're talking about the backside here, every single time that it attacks, it's basically like a 4/3 creature that gains life at the same time. This card is actually just... I mean, it's not a super banger, but it's good enough that this is one of like the top cards in Pioneer just by itself. It doesn't... You don't even need an entire deck built around it. It's good enough by itself. S tier. Graveyard Trespasser is one of the best. And of course, people who have had many cards but keep donating to get more. We got Elixir, Sage of Ancient Lore. Do you like Werewolves, Elixir? Are you a Werewolf fan? So here is a 5 mana star. The Sage of Ancient Lore's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand. When Sage of Ancient Lore enters the battlefield, draw a card. This feels like a blue card more than a green card. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, we get to transform our Sage into the Werewolf of Ancient Hunger. Vigilance, Trample, power and toughness are each equal to the total number of cards in all players' hands. Oh, all players' hands at this point. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform it. I like... Do we get to draw a card when it transforms? Oh, only when it enters the battlefield. I think the card's pretty good. I like that it's like 5 mana, ETB, draw a card, and then if you have like a big hand, you go in for big damage. I think that's an A tier level card. At least replaces itself. Okay, who has no card for Ginkgo? Apparently has no card yet. Hanware Watchkeeper. With my D tier standard. Okay, we have a 3 mana. 3 mana! 1/5 on defense with Defender. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast. That's it? We got nothing on the front side. Well, the odds that we flip this thing are super high. We turn into the 5/5 Bane of Handwear. A Bane of Handwear attacks each turn if able. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform Bane of Handwear. This card, I want to say the Bane of Handwear is pretty itching to get into attack, was basically on defense. This is like the guy, the poor soul, who like everyone on the team says, no, you be in the net, you be the goalie. And then they said, and then one day they're like, screw it. Screw the goalie. I'm going in. I'm going to, depends on the game. I'm going in there with my hockey stick. I'm on offense. When the goalie's on the attack. Okay, Scoo die. Well, we have to rate this card. I got too excited with my analogy. Quite the D tier card. The backside is okay. It's not the craziest thing I ever saw. Who did I look at? Whatever. Okay, we'll get everyone with no card. Outlander Liberator. From David Howard. Thank you very much for your suggestion. Outlander. Sorry, Outland. 2 mana for a 2/2 human werewolf. Pay 1, sack it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Good utility. Of course, that's Daybound. On the backside, I believe it does the same thing. You still have 1 mana, destroy an artifact or enchantment whenever it attacks. Oh, when you attack, though, you constantly destroy artifacts and enchantments. Well, in that case, this is amazing. This is an S tier werewolf. These are all too good up here. For werewolves, that is. All right, next up. We got Eris. Pack Song Pup. Also Young Wolf. Well, you get Pack Song Pup. It's a 2-mana 1/1. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control another wolf or werewolf, put a +1/+1 counter on Pack Song Pup. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. I've seen better. B tier. Very, very B tierish. Not useless. What is that card? Is it a spirit? I want to say there's some. Oh no, sorry, it's a human. There's like a human. It's like a 2-mana 1/1, and at combat you put a +1/+1 counter on that human. Beginning of combat on your turn. It's the same thing, except this thing gains life. This one's only for werewolves. I would say this card would be so much better if there were more werewolves. That's all. If there were way more werewolves, it'd probably be like premium. Okay, Kagan, what do you got for us? If it just has to say werewolf, hollow. It just has to say werewolf. Hollow, henge, overlord. The overlord, huh? Is this the Bowser of the werewolves? 6 mana for a 4/4 wolf. It's got flash though. At the beginning of your upkeep, for each creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. See, the wolves and werewolves, what are the... okay, the werewolves, they are humans. They're also wolves. And then wolves, they're just wolves. Is that it? How much did this cost? 6 mana. B tier. It's too much mana for that effect. I like the effect. It's not bad. I don't like the mana cost. Hexenort. Hermit of the Natter Knolls. This is a 3-mana grouchy looking person. It's a 2/3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during... That is insane! At the beginning of your upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, we get to transform it. So this is 3 mana. Turns into a 3/5. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of... Oh, that's it? I thought this was leading up to something more. I like the effect. But for 3 mana, I don't really like it, to be honest. And it didn't lead up to anything more after that. B tier. It's still not terrible. The problem is you can't really... You're not actually... It's like... I guess it's like Green Rhystic Study in some sense. It's Green Rhystic Study, but it only counts on your turn. That's the only way I can reliably understand this card or look at it or compare it. Scudiver! Howling Moon. Or did I skip you? Oh, you're not being skipped this time, Scudiver. We have a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target wolf or werewolf you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Ugh. But whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, we get a 2/2 green werewolf until end of turn. I think that's great. Now this is like the Rhystic Study of the werewolves. I think this is an A tier level card. I just like the value. I think the odds that someone plays like 2 spells per turn, pretty high. It's not bad. It's like 3 mana make... Like, here's the... Especially in a game of Commander, where you could look at this card as like, it's 3 mana. At least somebody is going to give you a 2/2 creature. And if nothing else, 2 people per rotation will give you a 2/2 creature. So it's like 3 mana for 4 power in play. And you can expect something similar each rotation. I think this card will pay off big time. None of this dies the Chandler. Not today. Today's not the counter to Chandler, that's for sure. Toilet Duck. Hilda. Wanted Cutthroat. On Arena. 2 mana 2/2 human werewolf. First strike. When Rahilda, Wanted Cutthroat, deals combat damage to a player. Exile a non-land card from their library at random. Doesn't sound very useful. During your turn, during any turn you attacked with a wolf or werewolf, you may cast that card. Oh, and you may spend Mazo or mana of any card. mana of any color to cast that spell. I don't get it. Okay, so deals to a player. Exile a non-land card from their library at random. Oh yeah, but it has to be a non-land card. Okay, what is it on the other side? Double strike. Deals combat damage to a player. Exile a non-land card from their library at random during any turn. This is like a clunky... It's basically Ragavan. Clunky Ragavan. I could be wrong, but B tier. Maybe it's better than I think. They want to get a card now? If it feels like it. Okay, now who didn't get 2 cards? Who hasn't had 2 cards yet so far? Oh, Kagan with the super chat. Arlen the Pax Hope. The other Planeswalker. Use the Force, Planeswalker. Okay, 4 mana for a 4 loyalty Arlen. +1. Until your next turn, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash, and each creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. That is not bad. That actually is a pretty good ability. Being able to play at flash speed is good for the werewolves because like the decks are pretty clunky, and you would prefer to keep your opponents on their feet and basically surprise them. And then -3, create 2 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. So the card pretty good at defending itself and pays itself off, even if it dies. And then if you flip it for Arlen Moon at Nightbound, +2 add mana, probably not useful. 0. Until end of turn, Arlen the Moon's Fury becomes a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste. And that card is an absolute banger. Also, very nice picture. What happened to all your clothes, Arlen? What happened to all your clothes? You would think the werewolves would wear something flexible that would be okay. I don't know if this is A tier or S tier. I'm gonna put in A tier. You would think that they would wear something that is like, I don't know, is not going to rip to shreds. That's what I was trying to get to. It's not going to rip to shreds. Bulky. Reckless wife? Reckless. Really? Wife? Waif? I'm reading this like wife in some sort of internet slang, but it's waif. So it's like literally means something. Okay, at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Reckless Waif, which is not, it's like 1/1 nothing. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform Merciless Predator. Well then, for human rogue, what can we do here? You're at least a 1/1 for 1 mana, C tier. It's better than all this crap on the bottom. That's what yeah, waifu? They misspelled, yeah, they misspelled waifu, didn't they? Completely misspelled. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... I think we're very close to the bottom of no cards. Oh, you didn't get a card yet? If Wolf counts... Wolf doesn't count. Well, okay. I'll be the judge. Wild Seer Scouring Maw. Does it literally say anything about werewolves here? 5 mana for a 6/6 elemental wolf trample. Enchantment spells you cast from your hand have Cascade. That's actually insane. Elemental wolf. 1 hour of MTG list werewolf cards. Okay, we're gonna count the wolves now, because I have a feeling we're running really slim on the werewolf cards. And I will make this S tier. I think that's insane. Making all the all enchantment spells you can't. The only problem is putting this in a werewolf deck probably sucks. Okay, we got Wandering Pick. No 2 cards yet. Lunar. Rejection. You got rejected by the stars? By the Lunar? Okay, 2 mana instant with Cleave. Oh god, Cleave. Return target creature to its owner's hand. But, return target werewolf or wolf to their owner's hand. Oh, you get to draw a card. And then for cleave, you get to remove the wolf and werewolf. You can bounce anything back to their hand. Terrible card, though. That is insanely narrow. And for it's like a really bad cryptic command, even for 6 mana. I'll put that in the D tier. It's worse than worse. Elixir, you're back. The Celestus. It's a werewolf-centric card, I suppose. If you buzz it, donate. Hopefully we're going to keep it. The Celestus. 3 mana artifact. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as the Celestus enters the battlefield. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. 3. If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Activate only as a sorcery. What? If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Why did they have to word it that direction? It should just be like, if it's day, it's night. If it's night, it's day. That makes a lot of sense to me. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Do you know what? I have to. We're gonna take what's it called? Points off for not being actually a werewolf card. On top of that, I don't really like it, to be honest. It's like a bad mana rock. You have to pay mana to change it from day to night. You know, like why don't we just pass the turn? Can't we do that? Isn't that how that works? If you're the active player, you just pass the turn and it becomes night, correct? Isn't that easy enough? Okay, now who do we have here? Rice wants Silver Bolt. One mana, artifact. Pay 3, tap, sacrifice Silver Bolt. Deals 3 damage to target creature. If a werewolf is dealt damage this way, destroy it. Unalive the werewolves. I forgot. I don't know what the lore is behind that. Okay, pay 3 just deals... You have to sacrifice this whole thing? That's awful. D tier. Even if it's to kill a werewolf, I think that's pretty expensive. Super expensive. Steve Cooper with Ulrich's Kindred. We got 3 mana wolf, trample, pay 4. Target attacking wolf or werewolf gains indestructible until end of turn. That's not the worst ability I've ever seen. It's not a great ability. It's very expensive. Target attacking. Actually, it's during combat. 2 mana intensive, but it's not the crappiest thing I've ever seen. So I'll give it the C tier. Next up. Oh, did we not look at the Ambusher? Night Pack Ambusher. Holy moly! 4 mana, 4/4 flash. Other wolves and werewolves get +1/+1. Not to mention, at the beginning of your end step, if you didn't cast a spell this turn, create a 2/2 green werewolf token. This card is an absolute banger. It's the Sigma of the werewolves. It makes all the other wolves look like betas. The Sigma werewolf. There we go. It's got that skibbity riz that the other wolves don't have. All right. It's gonna turn it turns all the other creatures into glizzies. Okay, toilet duck. We got volatile arsonist. We didn't do this one. Volatile arsonist. Oh, I guess not. Okay, this is 5 mana for a 4/4 human werewolf with menace and haste. A cute little pup here in the bottom corner. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to each of up to 1 target creature and up to 1 target player and up to 1 target planeswalker. So 3 damage. Also, it flips over into the Dire Strain Arcanist. Again, menace and haste. When it attacks, it deals 2 damage to each of up to 1 target creature or up to 1 target. Oh, it's only 1. We just ping things only 1 time. Deals 1 damage to each of up to To each of up to one target. Okay. So we get to choose 3 targets once, if I understand that one correctly. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. 5 mana for a 4/4. You immediately get in the red zone. A tier. I think that's quite strong. Bingo alert, another haste plus menace. Where's our bingo card? I don't have one for today. Probably, maybe we should have bingo cards for the, what's it called? The tier list shows. Good evening, Ricardo. Kagan, thanks so much for your super chat. We got, you need to type plain to get it. Kessig? Oh, you want to go to actual Kessig. Okay, so T colon plain Kessig. Thanks so much. Plain Kessig? I can't find T-Pain. So T... Am I doing... What am I... Oh, okay, I found it. We figured it out. I found it! The plane of Innistrad. Prevent all combat damage that be dealt by non-werewolf creatures. So, like, what? Permanent fog against everything that's not a werewolf? I don't know how you get this thing in play, though. That's the problem. Okay, A tier. That's a pretty strong effect for the werewolves. If we deal damage and no one else is allowed to, I think that's pretty good. Reckless what? I think we did Reckless Wife. The wife is reckless. Yeah, we did that one already. A little sad chaos did not ensue. That's how you change planes. Yeah, planes are exclusive to Plane Chase. You play Plane Chase? No! Never! I've never played Plane Chase. Yeah, I haven't played much beyond, like, the competitive... I haven't played much beyond Commander, okay? I've played Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, a smidge of Vintage online. Of course, I've played Standard many years ago. And a smidge of Commander these days. Yeah, it's Nikachu offended you even ask. These random funsy formats. People trying to have fun in this game? No, I play the formats where people suffer. And people just complain and whine about prices and the ban list all day and all night. That's where I belong. Those are my people. Those are my people. And now these days, Commander can also complain about the ban list too. You're turning into competitive players. Okay, we got Summer Mermaid Star. Ava Brock Caretaker. I didn't get a card, just got here. I've already done. We did this one. Oh, you want Conduit of Emrakul? Conduit of Emrakul. Yeah, this was an S tier card. Or maybe it was A tier. We did that one too. Both your suggestions got put into the trash. Toads. Jessig. Caretaker. Is that real? No, I think you meant Kessig Caretakers. Oh, Cage Breakers. You want Cage Breakers? Well, I'll just look up Cage Breakers because I have a feeling you meant Kessig. That's right. I knew it. I could feel it. 5 mana for a 3/4 human rogue. Whenever Kessig Cage Breakers attacks, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token that's tapped and attacking for each creature card in your graveyard. What? That's insane. If it attacks, basically we make a 2/2 for each creature card in your grave. We just fill up the graveyard and then make a bunch of tokens. This is a token army in the can. This person knows the danger of this card. It's looking right at us. A tier. It takes a little bit of work. Like this, the card doesn't win by itself. I mean, you gotta like get a bunch of stuff in your graveyard. You're green, damn it. I don't know. Self-mill yourself in some way. You did the wrong card. Conduit of Emrakul is not Conduit of Storms. Oh, whoops. Let me just look up Emrakul. Where's the Conduit? Are you talking about the backside? No, we looked at the backside. We looked at it. We've gone down there. We've been there. We did the card. Oh, what was the card? Conduit of Storms. The front side is the back side. Where's that damn... There it is. A C tier. It was the first C tier. Chandler doesn't belong on the list. I don't think... Is Chandler a werewolf? I don't think so. Something seems wrong about an Eldrazi werewolf. Yeah, you are now a human, Eldrazi, and a werewolf. When the full moon comes out, you become an Eldrazi. What do you mean you didn't get a card? You absolutely got a card, Christopher B. Moon Mist. But it's okay. We're on our second round now. 2-mana instant. Transform all humans. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by this turn. Dealt this turn by creatures other than werewolves and wolves. I think the card looks like garbage. It looks so useless to me. Is it really that hard to transform your cards? It's the fog effect is okay though. But like the card still looks really unimpressive to me. But maybe the werewolf players could educate me. What do we not got yet? Turiat. Tovolar's Huntmaster. Ooh, a 6-mana 6/6. Huntmaster enters the battlefield, create 2 green wolf creature tokens. It's like Asika's Chariot. And then on the backside, whenever it enters or attacks, create 2 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. 4 mana. Another target wolf or werewolf you control fights another wolf. All right. I challenge you to a duel. A duel of Pokemon. Go, Tovolar's minion, go. I think I'm going to rank this B-ish tier, though. I think it's a good card. I just think it's a bit expensive. Maybe I'm wrong. It's Grave Titan, right? This is literally... Is this just not Grave Titan? This is literally Grave Titan. Enters the battlefield, create 2. The only problem is it's Grave Titan with extra steps, because you have to flip it on... You know what? I like it. It's Grave Titan. A tier. Grave Titan's underrated. Some people say Grave Titan is squadouche, but I don't believe that. Okay, Julian. Village Ironsmith. Oh, it looks like this is going to be the last card. Why is the show ending so early? Well, it is an hour. Okay, Village Ironsmith. 2 mana, 1/1. First strike. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform the Ironsmith into the Iron Fang. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn... This is terrible. We're basically spending 2 mana for a 1/1 first strike. That is on par with cards from 1993, if you ask me. D tier. Well, I have to say, there's like way better cards on in this list than I thought there was going to be. Read the flavor. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Apparently, that's the flavors. Each night, he abandons the trappings of civilization. Each morning, he repairs the front door. Yeah, I bet are they each... I think each side is talking about the other side. Anyway, all right, that's our tier list. Do you agree, disagree? Is this not the Grave Titan of the werewolves? I think it is. But anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks, everyone, for showing up today. As usual, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks, everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks so much, Coffee Crew, for being here today. People like Jasper Rab. We got Steve Cooper. Pedgeman. Did you get no card at all? Nothing? Okay, hold on. We're gonna give you something, Steve Cooper. You can't walk away empty-handed. Where am I here, though? Okay, we're gonna get you something. Where's the tier list? I have a tier list. No, that's not it. Where am I? Oh, I screwed this up. Okay, there we go. Cassig Naturalist. Pedgeman's gonna get something before the day is done. It's a 2 mana, 2/2 Whenever it attacks, add red or a green. Until end of turn, you don't lose the mana. And then it's a lord. When it attacks, you still add mana. Oh, this is actually... And it's a 3/3 creature if people can't see it. It's actually a lot better than that last one that I saw that attacked to add mana. So I will give it the B tier. You got something in there, Pedgeman. So thanks so much to Pedgeman. People like Corbinek, Toads, for Ginka, Restian Serpentine, Kano, Ricardo, Christopher B, Toilet Duck. We got Jess, Julian, Elixir, Wandering Pick, Hexa, Nord, Summer Mermaid Star, Stanel. Who else do we have here? And more. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today. And as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.